Hello everyone. If you'd like to see a preview of a new fabric brand called Johanna Ralph being released on the 2nd of September by MaaiDesign, stay tuned. Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Deb and this is DB Designs and Sewing Australia. Welcome to all my subscribers and welcome to anybody who is new. Now today is something different for me, because I am giving you a preview of a brand new fabric brand called Johanna Ralph. And the Johanna Ralph brand is being launched on the 2nd of September by Micah from MaaiDesign. So let me give you a bit of a look at the fabric. So I have this half made up Freddy dress by the bold one. Remember the Freddy dress in a linen from the other day. Now the name of this beautiful linen is Dreamscape, and I was making the Freddy dress and I've made the short puff sleeves. So I've got the sleeves ready here to put on, but then I didn't really have quite enough fabric. Remember, it's a fairly fabric hungry dress. And one of the reasons it's fabric hungry is because it doesn't have a waist seam. So I find that things that don't have a waist seam and are quite long use a lot of fabric because you need the full lengths. And so this is the tie. And as you can see, I was going to have to join, I think one of the ties has got, that's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. And I thought, I don't think I really want to do that. I want to make it a really good dress. So I was going to have it as a spring racing dress. So when I was thinking about making this video, the doorbell rang and it was the postie. And I got my other 1.5 meters. Now the ties are very, very long, so they use a fair bit of fabric. And I also wanted to make a matching bag. Now I usually make these type of bags. Can't remember what that clip is called. And I particularly like this one because it's got the ability to put a chain on it. But I also found one that was wider again. So I've ordered that bag frame and I'm waiting on it. But this is the beautiful fabric and this linen is just gorgeous. So I'll show you the name of the designer. Hopefully that's coming out the right way on your screen because it's not on mine. Johanna Ralph. And as I said, the 2nd of September is when the fabric is going to be launched. And I'll put in a couple of previews of the other fabrics, because if you're not into floral, there are so many other beautiful prints. There are 4 fabric bases. There's linen, which is what I've got. There's cotton lawn, there's cotton jersey, and there's a French terry. And I must say, I have got my eye on that French terry because of the gorgeous design. Now it's not floral. I'm sure it's not floral. But it's the colours in it. So the blue in it is like a washed denim blue. So sort of a light blue, but still a denim colour to it. And I don't know whether it's not really a white background or a cream background. It's more like the colour of eggshells when you've got white eggs. So beautiful colours and a lot of things for people who are not into floral. Now I'm into floral and bright colours, as well as I have my blacks and black and whites. There's also the fawn and like slightly off-white colour. That is also a beautiful one that I've got my eye on. Now, the best way to make sure you don't miss out on the launch, because I believe these fabrics will go very quickly, is to sign up to the MaaiDesign newsletter, and that way you're going to know exactly when it's going to launch. I will leave the details in the description below on how to join up to MaaiDesign newsletter. So how fabulous is this dress going to look? Now the reason it's not sewn together at the sides is because I was waiting for the extra fabric to make the belt so it was perfect. So I am going to stitch it in down slightly lower, and I did hear back from Freedom, the young woman who's designed the pattern, and she said she's making more instructions for it. So, and that I did sew the belt in exactly the correct position, but I am going to lower it a bit this time, and it's probably to do with just being old. So this is the body, the little puff sleeves, and seriously, I'm not taking my clothes off again today because it's freezing here. So I think this is going to be a beautiful spring dress. So I was really thinking spring carnival races, and to make a bag that matches. And what I did do was I have fully lined this dress. Now I didn't want to use any of my outer beautiful brand new yet to be launched fabric by Johanna Ralph. I didn't want to use that for my lining, but in hindsight I probably should have used a different colour lawn, probably a blue coloured lawn if I had any. But what I have done is I have fully lined it, so that lining is going to go all the way down to the bottom. This pattern comes with separate pieces for the lined bodice, and so I just extended that down. So things that have got a lot of flare in them, several seams in them, and I think when I was making the pleated skirt from Atelier Jupe, Stina skirt, that's it, ooh, I remembered. It has a separate lining because you don't pleat, you don't gather your lining as much. So that's why I decided I would cut a piece and do a full lining. So I'll see how that goes. If I don't like the full lining, I will simply cut it off and overlock it around, just like the one in the teal coloured linen that I made the other day. But really happy with this fabric. It's just beautiful. So I'm going to be calling this my spring carnival dress, and cannot wait to finish it. And now I've just received, isn't that funny when you think about making a video and then the doorbell rings and it's a postie with your beautiful extra bit of fabric that you wanted. So I need to get this washed, dried, and that new belt cut out, and then I will keep the rest of my fabric for the handbag. I do think this style of bag is what I will make. That's always just a bit narrow considering how big my phone is. I actually have a really big phone and a really heavy phone, so I'll have to work out what sort of body I'm going to put in when I get my new frame. So I do believe the frame is much wider than that one. But this is the beautiful fabric. Look at the purples and blues in that. It's just beautiful. So don't forget, sign up for MaaiDesign newsletter. Doesn't cost you any money, and it just means that you'll get an email to say exactly when the launch is going to be. Pop on there and have a look, because you will be delighted. The fabrics are just beautiful, and 4 different bases or substrates, as I call them. And I actually just received a cotton lawn sample. MaaiDesign often send you little fabric samples with your orders, and just look how this fabric, and for a cotton lawn, because I'm thinking the difference between cotton lawns, this is gorgeous. This feels really silky, really nice. That would make, you know, that cotton lawn would make a really nice Abbey dress by Wardrobe by Me, because it really is like an after sun dress. I quite like that fabric print too. I think that's called Hydrangea. It'd actually make a beautiful puff sleeve blouse. And it's 100% cotton lawn. Really lovely. Yes, it's 75 GSM, so you can see how lightweight it is. But there are a lot of really pretty dress patterns around at the moment for very lightweight fabric. So this is my look. This is my preview of this gorgeous, gorgeous fabric. So pretty. I just think it screams springtime. So if you're in Australia and you're going into spring, not that it ever stopped me from wearing anything like this in autumn either. I don't really wear autumn colours. As I said, I'm just not a brown wearer, although I am very attracted to that black and brown. I think that's in the linen as well. Very nice. And they're not all florals. So when you go onto MaaiDesign site and sign up for the newsletter, there is a bit of a preview of the fabrics, and I'll pop some photos in here of the previews that I've got of the fabrics. Well worth having a look, and beautiful quality. Yeah, so not everything, well, that's really abstract. So it's bold abstract prints, but there are some in a more subtle colour, and this looks like it's flowers or florally, but it's not really, it's abstract. And so on the site there are other abstract ones that if you're not a floral person you may like, because they're lovely. And not everything's really ultra bright coloured. I know that not everybody likes an ultra bright coloured thing. Some people like a much more subtle look. So that's my preview of the Johanna Ralph brand fabrics that are going to be launched by MaaiDesign on the 2nd of September. Sign up to the newsletter and check it out. And I will be back, hopefully before the 2nd of September, to show you my finished dress. If it ever stops raining, I'll be able to get fabric dry. I will leave the details below of signing up for the newsletter for MaaiDesign if you're not already on their mailing list. But check it out. It's beautiful fabric, beautiful. And it's nice to have new designers coming along. So everybody have a fabulous week. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.